Hello and welcome back to the podcast. In the last episode, we were looking at the pros of van life. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the cons of van life. So, again, it's a chilly one, so you may hear my diesel heater in the background. Anyway, so I'm sorry about if you do hear the clicking of it. Anyway, with that said, we're going to get into it. So, the cons of van life. Number 1. Limited space. This sucks. I won't lie to you. It would be lovely to have more space. However, with that said, minimalistic is really good. I will just touch on that. But limited space is probably one of our biggest problems we have as a family in our van. You kind of want to carry a little bit more stuff. I play guitar. Not very well, but I do play guitar, and it would be amazing to have my guitar with me. But unfortunately, we just don't have the room. One thing we made sure about when we were designing our van was that we had quite a lot of floor space. But to have extra floor space, we had to pull back on our shelving. So we don't have too much shelving. We have a little bit, which is great, but we don't have a lot. So things like games, clothes, books, kind of get pushed around a little bit. So we're kind of having to clear the bed off every night, or just kind of find places for things, which is a little bit tricky. But then again, I guess we should just throw the things out that we don't need. But anyway, so floor space is... or limited space rather, is quite a big one. And that, I would say, is the thing people pull me up on most. They're like, how do you do it? There's no space. Especially if you have a shower in your van. We don't. We have one on the back doors. So you open the doors and it's kind of outside, which is great. But yeah, if we had that inside, we would have absolutely zero space. So it's a catch-22. It's a really hard one, I think. It ultimately kind of comes down to what you want in your van. If you want a shower inside where you're away from the cold winter months, then do it. If you don't mind the cold and you want to have a shower outside, then do that and have a little bit extra space in the van. So definitely figure out what you want to do before building your van. Definitely go and figure it out, because limited space is an issue. Okay. Number 2. Finding legal parking. This actually is something that we don't struggle with at all. Yes, we've had a few tickets, but we've had tickets. That's the problem. So we usually park overnight in either a town or at my friend's. If we're in town, you can look at the sign and it will say parking 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. What that means is that you can park there after 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. for free. So the times that the wardens or the ticketers or traffic people in high vis that nobody likes are going around that place is 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. But after those hours, you can park there. So we do that. We kind of sneak around and we're like, oh, where's the space? Dive in there and we'll park up. But we're in a Fiat Ducato Maxi, and we were in Cardiff the once, and we couldn't find parking anywhere. They were all multi-stories, and we really struggled. Really struggled. And it wasn't good. We were traveling around for a long time trying to find just somewhere to park. Another thing is that our van is a long van, a maxi. So we take up a space and a half, which it's okay. It's not so much the finding a space, a double space next to each other that's the problem. It's actually getting out of the space. So if you have 2 cars on either side and there's 2 cars or 3 cars in front of you, then that turning angle is actually really tricky to get right. So that can be a big issue. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Parking is one of those that a smaller van would be really good, but if you want space, a bigger van's really good, but not so much for parking. I think this is actually another question that people ask me quite a lot. They say, where do you park? And you're kind of like, well, I don't really want to tell you because you're going to maybe come around and knock on my door or something, and I don't know. So, yeah, I'll say a general area, but I won't really say where we park up. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of any good stories or anything we've had whilst being parked. Ooh, I know actually. We were parked in Plymouth, and in a really, really beautiful spot. I won't say because it's a really beautiful spot and I like it. But you can probably find it on Park for Nights if you use that app. Anyway, we were in this car park and we had a little CCTV camera on the side of the van, and I just used to enjoy looking around from it, and I kind of turned around, I kind of heard this giggling. I was like, what on earth is that? And I looked out the back windows, I couldn't see anything. Anyway, so I turned this camera around, and there were these two girls sat on the back of the van at the back. And I was like watching them on this camera, and I was like, they're about to do a line of coke. And I was like, what? And I was just kind of like shocked. They're like, this is my van, this is my home. So anyway, just because I hit this button on the camera on my phone, it made this alarm on the camera, and it was like whoop 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 whoop, and these girls kind of freaked out and like ran off, and that was that. But yeah, that was a kind of funny parking story. We just parked up and that happened. Yeah. Last thing I will say on parking is height restrictions. I know this kind of comes back to what I said in Cardiff, but know the height of your van, and include the solar panels, and include the fan if you have one of those, or whatever you have on your roof. Include it, because I've seen a fair few things on Facebook where people just plow into like a bridge and it completely rips the roof off the van, or like, you know, those car parks that you go in, they've got those big yellow barriers. Yeah, seen a few people crash into those, or you've got like yellow paint on your van or something because of one. So just be wary of that. Okay, number 4, hidden costs. Hidden costs is an interesting, annoying one. Actually, wait, this is number 3. My apologies, number 3. Hidden costs. Yeah. Vans are just one of those things that it's like Marmite. You love it and you hate it. We bought our van and we were really excited. We spent a bit of cash on it, bought it. Within the month, the comm rod snapped in the engine. And, oh man, it was so disheartening. We were a little bit of the way through the conversion. Anyway, we were like, what are we going to do? Like, what? We need to like figure this out, because we had my eldest son, we had him on the way, and time was of the essence. We had to get it done. Anyway, we made some calls. We found some guys in Cardiff. We had to get the van towed to Cardiff. These guys worked on it for like 2-3 weeks. Then we had to get it back to where we live, or where we were living at the time. And yeah, that was a hidden cost. It was like $3,000. So that was a really heartfelt, gut-wrenching, like, why? And I won't lie to you, this van has cost us quite a lot in repairs. And we're talking in the thousands. We're not talking a couple hundred. We're definitely talking thousands. I don't know, rough guess, maybe this thing's cost us in repairs probably about $6-7 really, maybe around that, including the engine. So it's not fun. And when it's your house as well, it really sucks because you rely on it so much. We don't have another vehicle. We used to, but now we only have the van. So when something goes wrong with it, it sucks. This really sucks. Yeah, so this is definitely something to be aware of. It can actually be fatal. So when you go and get a van, when you look at a van, just be so careful. Take someone with you that knows their stuff, and haggle. If you can haggle, definitely haggle. We got £1,000 off our van when we bought it, just through being like, hang on a minute, this isn't right, this isn't working. And he didn't tell us that things weren't working. We figured it out. So whilst we were there, we kind of went through pretty much everything. Obviously not the engine, we couldn't go through that, or the comm rod snapping. That was just unfortunate. But in terms of the electric windows, one of them worked, one of them didn't. He didn't tell us about that when we looked at it. One of the electric mirrors didn't move. Thankfully, we noticed that before we bought it. So there were a few things, and we got £1,000 off anyway, which was really good. So yeah, definitely haggle, definitely look for issues, and 100% take someone with you that is smarter than you in that area, so they can ask questions and lay down the law, because you don't want to be stuck with a van that doesn't work, and you haven't even started your conversion yet. That sucks. So yeah, be very careful there. Let's have a look. What was the next question? Hygiene. Okay, so yeah, hygiene's a funny one. So we're talking toilet, showers, laundry, that kind of stuff. Where do we start? Let's start with showers. Our shower is outside, so come summer, it's beautiful. And we have a little curtain that we put up, and it's nice. And then the wind blows, and yeah, everyone sees you, and it's not fun. So that's a little bit annoying. The toilet, we don't have it like stored away or anything. Well, we do. We have it under the bed. But if we need to use it, we just pull it out and use it in the middle of the room. It's not the nicest, I'm not going to lie, especially being a family of 5. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't really think there's much more I need to say on the toilet one. It's not that fun when you're cooking and someone's having a crap right next to you. It's pretty nasty. Yeah. Maybe that's a different episode. Maybe that should be an episode of like, build a flipping shower room and have a toilet in there. Don't just have your toilet stinking the van out in like a meter away from your kitchen or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, laundry. I don't know. Kind of comes under the hygiene thing. Hygiene challenge. Just kind of. We have a 4-month-old. He is, if he's sick or whatever, and he pukes all down his top, then that's a hygiene problem in that sense. So where do you put the dirty stuff? How long do you leave it until you wash that stuff? So these are things to really consider. And yeah, they're definitely cons, because it really sucks. Like, yeah, the toilet one's bad. I'm not going to lie. God bless you, people that don't have toilet or bathrooms. I applaud you. It sucks, doesn't it? Okay, moving on. Loneliness and mental health. I've been pretty fortunate. I haven't had to do this adventure alone. I've had Kate by my side, and yeah, she's been incredible. She's been through the ups and the downs with me. There's certainly been some down times, but there's also been a lot of up times. And loneliness is something I haven't had to deal with a whole lot. So I can imagine van life on your own is really hard. I know a few people that do it on their own, and they haven't said that they're lonely because they've got like a good community of people around them. But I do wonder, like, yeah, maybe they love it. Maybe they love it, and it's nice to just to chill on your own and be away and out of the the flow of people and kind of in your own hub, but I do wonder, how often do they get lonely? And obviously loneliness can lead to mental health, and having no one to talk to can be really, really hard. So that's definitely a con. Yeah, I think we should not necessarily strive to have people with us, but definitely keep yourself connected in some sort of group. Maybe that's friends, family, church group, a group of friends, community that you meet up and go surfing with. Maybe that's just going to McDonald's and chilling out with some friends or something. So definitely a big thing that we need to dive into maybe later on this podcast. Okay. Another one is being safe. Now, this is a huge one. I have definitely felt a few times, not very often, but I have felt very unsafe in different places that we've been parked up. One springs to mind in particular. I don't even know where we were, but we parked and a car went past, or rather actually a van went past, and it went past really slowly, like slow. And it kind of caught my attention. And then a little while later, maybe 2 minutes later, it went past again. The opposite direction. We were like, okay, this is a little bit weird. Then it went past a third time, and this time it had another van behind it. And they were looking. And we were like, okay, this is weird. We got out of there quick. I don't know what was going to happen, and I don't want to know what's going to happen. Maybe nothing, maybe something. Anyway, we got out of there, and that was definitely the scariest moment I've had in doing van life. So, yeah, thankfully that was before we had the kids. Otherwise, I don't know, I'd felt awful for putting them in that situation. Anyway, back to the question. Be safe. There are lots of options. I think I mentioned it before. We had a camera on our van. So that was to help just keep us safe. You can get deadlocks on your doors. You can put stickers up. They may not be that effective, but just having a little sticker on your window that says like this vehicle is alarmed and controlled, or something like that. It's a little deterrent. So definitely be safe. Do what is necessary. We also have a bar that lives above our door, and at night we jam it to keep the door locked. So if we forget to lock it for whatever reason, then this bar is across the door. We do lock the doors at night, so obviously we have central locking in our van. We'll put that on, then we'll put the bar across. Just making sure that we are nice and safe in our little van. I've heard a lot of stories of people getting broken into, and it's risky. A little tip can be to, if you're parking up, park the back doors up against a wall. I've seen lorry drivers do it, where they'll reverse the lorries right up to each other so no one can get into the back of the lorries. That's a really good shout. So yeah, good things to think about, just to be safe. So yeah, explore that. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos on it, and just make sure that you are protected. So so they were our cons. I will say, just looking through my notes here, just to add to the hidden costs, leaks. Leaks are something we've had a lot of. Sucks. So you have to go buy a load of silicone and just pump crap tons of it into our door. Not into our door, into our window. We also have an air fan where we had a few leaks from that as well. So again, go and buy a tube of silicone and pump a lot of silicone into it. Sorry, that was just me looking through my notes and just like, oh, I didn't mention that. So anyway, these are the pros and the cons of van life in our last episode and this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you can take something away and learn from our mistakes. Anyway, with all that said, I'm going to stop talking and we'll see you in the next episode. Lots of love, be safe, and yeah, have fun doing whatever you're doing with your van, or if you're thinking about getting one, have lots of fun and be safe. Lots of love.